Called 3 Nights Before Christmas. On the first night before Christmas, I was walking down Broadway on the Upper West Side with my parents and my sister Morgan when we passed by one of those Christmas tree pop-ups on the sidewalk. Morgan took one look at the misshapen twigs on sale and cried out she must have one. I had just been talking with my brother Casey about how neither of us would spend a nickel to buy a Christmas tree for our own cold, empty apartments. Even my sister, who loves decorating for the holidays, started to reconsider when she saw the price tag of $40. But I offered to buy it for her as a gift. When my dad heard this, he looked at me like I had just shot him for my piece of the inheritance. "You can't be serious," he said. "Why not?" I asked. "You're going to spend $40 on that?" he said. I looked over at the tree my sister was holding as the attendant emerged from his heated shack like a shark smelling blood in the water. The twig had seen better days. But even the ugliest things deserve a home, especially if you can put them somewhere out of sight and cover them with lights and shit. "You should wait until closer to Christmas for the prices to drop," my dad urged me. "Yeah, we don't really do that," the attendant said, angling for the sale. "I'm feeling the spirit of giving," I began to say, but Dad was already walking off, disgusted. As we got back to the car, he turned to me and said, "You didn't really get that tree, did you? You got a better one, right?" Morgan, sliding into the back seat, covered for me. "Yes, Dad, we got a much nicer tree." My mom, however, honest to a fault, said, "What? No, it was the same one you saw, Jim. Morgan liked that one and Devin was very kind to buy it for her." My dad merely shook his head grinchily. On the second night before Christmas, I visited a sex shop in the West Village to buy a gift for a Yankee Swap holiday party. The tradition with this party was to bring the most tasteless present one could find and hope you were left with something better than FBI Director Kash Patel's children's storybook featuring himself as a wizard in King Trump's court. This was the gift I would end up with this year. There were 2 women working at the store counter when I walked in. I smiled vacantly at them like I accidentally stumbled in off the street. Browsing past the lingerie and other vanilla offerings, I made my way to the toys section, which featured a variety of gadgets and doodads in many imaginative shapes and sizes. Now, I'd never been to a sex shop before, nor had I ever indulged in a sex toy. So when one of the saleswomen asked me if she could help me with anything, I said, "I'm looking for something for a Yankee Swap." "What's that?" she asked. "Oh, it's like a gift exchange where you can steal someone's chosen present." "Oh, you mean like a white elephant," she said. I actually had never heard it called this, but I nodded my head dumbly. Later, I read that such an occasion can also be called a dirty Santa, which is how I felt standing next to the yardstick-sized dildos. "Well," she said, "you can't really go wrong with anything in here." After some thoughtful consideration, I settled on something called a stroker, a product of the Always Horny Masturbators Company, which sounded like a reputable brand. It came in a 3-pack, and the box advertised it as 3 girls at the same time in big glittering letters. The back of the box also claimed to be better than the real thing. "That can't possibly be true," I asked the other lady behind the counter teasingly. She didn't smile. As she rang me up, she said, "Remember to use water-based lube or you could possibly damage the product." I responded, "Oh, it's not for me, it's for someone else, but I'll let them know. I'm sure you hear that all the time." I chuckled awkwardly. She didn't laugh. On the 3rd night before Christmas, I found myself walking back to my apartment while eating a slice of pizza. As one does in New York, it was late at night and bitterly cold, and I wanted the Pizza Hut, sue me. As I passed by yet another Christmas tree pop-up, I locked eyes with the burly, bearded St. Nick lookalike who runs the trimmer. He saw me, pizza in hand, and called out, "You were so hungry you couldn't wait until you were home, could you? You just couldn't wait, huh?" "No," I replied, mouthful of pizza, trying to think of something clever to say. "Couldn't wait." As I walked past him, I could hear his sinister laughter echo into the night from among the Christmas trees. Happy holidays.